Hi, my name is Athena Reich, and you are watching the very first episode of The Curious Cook. St. Patrick's Day is this Saturday, March 17th. It's going to be a big celebration because it's on the weekend. And our guest today is Yetta Kurland. She is a social justice lawyer. She's a big activist here in New York City, and she is vegan. Yetta has shown me some recipes, we've done some research, and we found here some recipes that are creamy, they're good, and I cannot get enough of this stuff. So we're going to start off with a cocktail. We're going to start off with an Irish creamer over ice. Alright, we're going to start with 2 shots of espresso, and it's got to be hot, because when you add the 1 tablespoon of cocoa, you need that cocoa to dissolve. You do not want little grains in your drink because that's just gross. Oh, that is perfect. Okay, there's no grains of cocoa left there at all. All right, we're gonna add a whole can of coconut milk. Now this is the secret. This is what makes it creamy, and this is why you and your guests will not even know that it's vegan, because this is the good stuff right here. We're gonna add a tablespoon of vanilla, we're gonna add a teaspoon of almond extract, and we're gonna add coconut creamer. Yum, the more cream the better. And of course, 3/4 cup whiskey. It looks like a whiskey milkshake. I'm so excited. All right, woo, let's mix that up. And we're gonna pour that over ice. Oh yeah. It's my pleasure to introduce Yetta Kurland. Come on, welcome.
Thank you.
Here, darling, is your Irish cream over ice.
Cheers.
All right, cheers, baby.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. To the leprechauns.
To the leprechauns.
To the leprechauns.
It's amazing.
It's creamy.
Our own homemade vegan Irish cream. You're amazing. Thank you for welcoming me into your home and putting up with my high maintenance veganism and actually turning it into this incredible feast that we're about to
It
make.
is high maintenance.
It is.
But
it's worth it.
I'm amazing, and I have succeeded with your help in finding the perfect recipe. Let's take another step.
Thank you.
And let's preheat the oven.
Perfect.
All right? We're making stout cupcakes.
So we're going to have our own stout that's not Guinness.
That's right.
Because it's going to be...
It's vegan Guinness. Let's get you started on
Please,
this,
yes.
on the topping.
Yes.
Now, some people say this topping is optional. There's no friggin' way that this topping is optional. There's cocoa, sugar, and flour in this. This is neutral oil. Some like to say gender neutral oil.
I like that.
So you can either use a canola, you can use a grapeseed oil, but you're gonna pour this in and you're gonna slowly mix it.
Okay.
Right? We want it to get like grainy and not too oily. I am going to start on the meat of this cupcake here. I'm gonna add half a cup of soy milk.
Nice.
Here. And I am going to whisk it in with the vinegar, 1 teaspoon. And I'm gonna let it do its own thing. So we're gonna sit it here and it's gonna curdle. All right, we want it to curdle. That sounds gross, but it's gonna be friggin' awesome.
All right.
But did you, like, were you 4 years old watching, like, Law
Suing
and
people?
Order,
Yeah.
and you were like, First Amendment, First Amendment, like, how do you get a calling?
You're out of order. This whole preschool's out of order.
Right, like,
Kind of, yeah,
you
actually,
did?
a little bit.
Really? Tell me.
A little bit of that, and also I had this. I always was like a little bit of a bleeding heart. I remember the story. Actually, you know.
And as you're talking, I'm just telling viewers I'm adding a cup and 2 tablespoons of flour. So you were crazy.
When I was a kid, I had a pet parakeet that I really loved, and my sister had a pet cat with a little baby kitten. It was very tense in the apartment. It was a small apartment. I had to keep my bedroom door closed, and the cat couldn't see the bird, and there was no way to live. So I would.
This is a half cup.
Teaspoon.
Baking soda. Continue.
Which is different than baking powder. I always confuse those, and
I know.
Things go
I
horribly
know.
wrong.
1/4 teaspoon salt. I'm gonna add this in, and then I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I'm
well, no, basically,
half teaspoon baking powder. Okay, go on. So
baking
yeah,
powder
so you're in this little
so I decided that I would make the
animals.
cat and the parakeet get along, and I introduced them to each other. First the kitten, and that was kind of weird, and they all knew I shouldn't be doing that, and I ultimately ended up getting the parakeet killed by trying to get them to like the cat and get along. But that's what a cat does.
This is like
It was my fault.
This is your like early trauma that led
Yeah.
you towards social justice.
Yes, the trick is to let the
what
parakeets be the
happens?
parakeets and the cats be the cats.
Okay.
And we can all coexist
But we have
together.
to work out negotiations.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes we need boundaries.
Yes.
And that would be the cage.
Right.
Right? And so this is your job as a lawyer. You set the boundaries.
Yeah, or maybe not even having cages. Let parakeets be in the trees or something.
Even better.
Even better.
Have a parakeet-free zone. And then
And
a cat-free zone.
Maybe.
And we can coexist and make some laws and rules together.
Right.
So next I'm going to add the half a cup of vegan stout to our soy milk mixture, 3/4 cup sugar. This is a lot of sugar, but this is what makes it taste good, people, so don't skimp on that. 1/3 cup gender neutral oil, and 1.5 teaspoons vanilla extract. And while I'm whisking that, I want you to talk to me about what it's like, because you are out.
I am. It's not a secret.
You were out as a lesbian,
I'm an out lesbian.
as a social activist lawyer, and a political figure. You ran for city council.
I did. In
Person.
2009.
So what's it like? Can you be out and be a lawyer? And
Totally. Yeah, it's an inspiration for me to be out and to be a lawyer. I feel like, you know, every time I walk into a courtroom, every time I get to stand up on cases that are important for our community, and as the years go by, we earn more and more respect, I think, through legislative victories and also through victories in the court. And
Yeah.
it's really awesome. It's really awesome.
So next we're going to take our wet and we're going to mix it with our dry, but we're going to do it slowly in 2 or more batches. You don't want to overwhelm the wet and the dry together. You've got to do this slowly. Yetta, do you have advice for any young LGBT youth out there who may be thinking, can I live a normal life? Can I be a lawyer? Will I ever be able to get married?
Well, I guess first of all, I'm not sure that living the life of a lawyer is a normal life. And that any of us should strive to live a normal life, but they should feel like there's certainly opportunities. I mean, I definitely think...
No, but you know what I mean, like a professional life. Like, you know, they might think, you know, I'm gay, but I want to be a teacher. I'm gay, but I want to be a lawyer. I'm gay, you know, and if you grew up in a small town, you may think, I've never met an out gay lawyer.
Right. And the thing is we find allies in unusual places. And I think one of the things is that we think in our head that everyone is against us. And I'm always so amazed to find people who are courageous, people who stand up, people in the Christian right, like you're talking about, who actually are pro-gay.
Yep.
The person
you can be gay and Christian.
You can be gay and Christian. You can be whatever
Jewish
you want to be.
Christian.
You just be you. The most important job in your life, professional or otherwise, is to be you.
Yeah. So I'm putting about 3/4 of our lovely batter into our yummy little tin. So wait, Yetta, do you cook? Are you a lawyer and you cook, or
you know,
not really?
I do like to cook. I don't have a lot of time to do it, but when I do, I like to do something fun.
All right, Yetta. So you get to put the final
My
touch.
favorite part.
Now tell me about running for city council.
Yes, I ran for city council in 2009. I had been representing folks in 2004 who were getting arrested for protesting the Republican National Convention, and who were just getting rounded up and hugely mistreated. And I was like, well, I have to do something more. So there was this open seat for city council, and then suddenly the city extended term limits for elected officials, and I found myself running against the highest-ranking incumbent city council speaker, the president of the entire city council. So I ended up getting over 1/3 of the votes in a three-way race against the highest-ranking Democrat in the city. And it was this beautiful expression of, like, you know,
so you went with who you are, and it paid off.
And it paid off.
Here are our cupcakes.
Amazing.
Dig in.
Wow.
I'm serious when I say that I do not like vegan desserts, but these are good.
They are.
They're
incredible.
moist. They're really chocolatey.
They're like an emerald mountain of chocolate gold. And
That's
a perfect pairing with our vegan Irish cream.
Mm-hmm. So, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Athena, thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for
Have
coming.
a happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. And leprechaun, fun fact, leprechauns are the shoemakers in the fairy kingdom. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
And tune in on April 2nd for episode 2 of The Curious Cook.